Hello to all traders and welcome back to another video brought to you by Orbex. So we're looking at the dollar sliding just slightly lower in the last few trading sessions as we've seen the dollar index especially go from the 110 handle underneath the 109 handle, and now it's seen a slight bounce on gold as well. So we'll look at that chart shortly. So we've got the CPI figures coming up later on in today's session. What will this mean for the US economy? Plus we've got the Federal Reserve interest rate decision, which isn't far away. So these 40-year highs of 9.1% that we saw on inflation, they've started to come down and ease slightly. So what does that mean for the American economy? What will it mean for the dollar index? And obviously, more importantly, what does it mean for a basket of its main competitors? And obviously gold and oil as well, as we see a little bit of a turnaround with the conflict with Russia and Ukraine as well in today's headlines. So looking at the DXY, the dollar index at the moment, seeing a slight divergence that I wanted to point out on the RSI, slightly bearish. So we're seeing prices start moving lower at the moment. As you see in the last few months, we've seen this kind of hummingbird scenario where we're getting these higher peaks, eventually going higher and higher. So is this just another correction to the downside before we see another move to the upside? Well, a lot of analysts are still pricing in their bets at the moment. So just zoom in for a little bit of a more deeper look. We've got this on the daily chart at the moment. As you can see here, 5 bearish candles at the moment. So we are expecting a slight bottom on this particular range before we start moving a little bit higher. But when will that be? We'll have to wait and see. If we look on the 4-hour chart, because with the assistance of the Ichimoku cloud, we have now seen that prices have fallen through the cloud, which could mean that we could be seeing another extension on this correction to the downside, and it could actually fall a little bit lower, possibly down to the 106 handle before we get another push to the upside. So I'll just remove these other drawings so it's a little bit easy to see. So we're seeing now, as I said, this channel of this correction start moving possibly a little bit lower. But we'll get more of a confirmation when we see the bottom confirming, and then we'll see possibly another move to the upside. So a lot of analysts are saying that it could drop to 106, 105 before we see this turnaround in the US dollar index. And obviously the Federal Reserve interest rate decision is coming up, so this could be a quite volatile period for the greenback as well. So if we look on gold, so I've got a lot of analysts asking me about gold in the last 48 hours since we came off the back of the weekend trading. And as you can see here, we'll just put it onto the daily chart first of all, so it's a little bit more better to see the whole picture. So since these really recent highs that we saw at the start of the invasion of the Ukraine, now we've seen obviously sentiment move quite distinctively. But most interestingly, we've seen this double bottom at the moment, and now this bounce to the upside. So could we actually get this V-shaped recovery to the last top, which was roughly about just over the 1800 handle? If this does happen, we've still got a long way to go, still over $70 move in that respect, but we have seen gold being moved over $100 in one session previously, so it isn't really out of the question for that to happen. Not too much in the way of divergences on the RSI. You could say that this is slightly a bullish divergence, but we didn't really get this bottom to go really low. So we are now looking to see what is the next concept for gold. And as we move it on to the intraday, onto the 4-hour chart, just remove the drawings again, so it's a little bit easier to see. We are now trading in the cloud, so it means that we could see slight consolidation be confirmed a little while longer, possibly for another day or two before we get a signal into the next move of the yellow metal. At the moment, you could say it's in a slight bullish channel, but it is still looking like it is trying to find a way into the next direction. So with the dollar being slightly weak in the last few trading sessions, will we see another move in that respect, and will we see anything more in the move of the yellow metal? But obviously keep an eye on the greenback, because that is driving gold quite significantly as well. As you can see here, nice bullish turn up in the time being. So we're at 1725, 1723 at the moment trading. just above the upside of the Ichimoku cloud. Will we get to 1750 by the end of today's trading? We'll have to wait and see. I'll keep you posted if we do. Watch out for that on our Telegram channel, our Orbex, and we'll see what the next store is for the price action as well. So thank you very much for joining me today. Feel free to comment on the YouTube video, like and subscribe, and we'll keep you up to date with all the comings and goings in the market. So until then, bye for now.